We'll start things off by introducing our head table. To my left is Coyotes General Manager Bill Armstrong. Next to Bill, Kelsey Koelzer. Next to Kelsey is Kori Cheverie. And, of course, our head coach, André Tourigny. We'll turn it over to Bill for some opening remarks and our jersey presentation. Bill?
Well, first of all, I absolutely love this program that we've created in a short time. It brings coaches in and gives them a chance to learn, obviously, from the Coyotes, but also the people that are here inside our organization. I think coaching is about just, I don't want to say the word stealing other people's ideas, but borrowing them and kind of growing from them. And I think last year when our two coaches, Nathaniel was in and Dante, they did a great job, and they actually gave us a lot of life in camp, so it was refreshing to have them in, and they were just so thankful for it. So we decided to do the program for a second year, and we got two great candidates here that we're hoping that they're going to enjoy their time, but also learn a tremendous amount about the craft that they're in. And I know with Bear here, he's going to do his fair share of teaching, and hopefully it's a great week for them. And I think we can start off by putting the jerseys on. So.
Absolutely. You guys can just hold on to the names.
I'll take one.
Yeah, perfect.
Nobody fall off.
Careful,
Yeah.
Don't fall back.
Did he? Okay. Send him a selfie.
Is that okay yet?
No. Yeah,
All
you
right.
should.
You guys want to?
As long as it's nice. Okay.
I'll take it. Or you want? I'll just hold it.
Okay.
We'll say it. Thank you.
Thanks.
First question for Bill. Bill, even last year you were adamant about not being just a one-year program. So talk about the decision to do this again and the thought process behind it.
Well, I was a coach at one point in time in my career, and just to have people around you with greater knowledge to share with you, I think it's just truly inside. It's just they're going to leave camp and they're going to be inspired with some new ideas and some new ways to present and some new thought processes about coaching, and that's just going to make a huge impact for them as they move forward with their career. So I know I was fortunate enough to be around some really great coaches. Pat Burns was one, and Jacques Laperriere, and just seeing how they attack the day and were coaching in the NHL. For me, I was around that for only probably about, I think it was a 2-week span, but it left a lifetime of knowledge with me, and so we hope to do that here as we move forward with the program.
Next question for both Kelsey and Kori. What has your experience been like so far, and what are you hoping to take away from this week?
Yeah, I can start. It's been an incredible experience so far. Got in early Saturday, and just from the moment that my feet hit the ground here in Arizona, it's been so welcoming. Just such an incredible staff, support staff from coaches down to equipment managers, medical staff, everything, hotel staff. Everybody has just made it feel like home, and I think that's really helped with the transition, helped ease some nerves, things like that. But I'm just super excited to, like Bill mentioned, just learn. There are, I've had a hand in a couple of different roles throughout, the hockey ops side, and, I'm excited to learn what other options are out there. And then, of course, speaking from a coaching standpoint, I have a team back home that I'm, excited to see their growth. So if there's something I can bring back, a different way of teaching, a new drill, a new technique, I'm super excited just to be a sponge, absorb as much as I can.
Yeah, I think for me, it's really hot down here, which is amazing. I'm pumped that hockey exists in hot climates because this is great. I think for me as a coach, I just try to gather as much experience as possible, and I think anytime you can surround yourself in a high-performance setting and soak up that knowledge, you're going to be in a better place when you leave. And meeting all the staff, I coached with Nathaniel Brooks at Ryerson for 4 years, so having a familiar face down here has been just great. And like Kelsey said, it's been so welcoming. Getting to chat with the players today, there's always 1 degree of separation, so getting to chat with them, we have mutual hockey players in common that we've either played with or coached with. So the experience so far has been amazing, and I'm just trying to soak it all in, and hopefully we can exchange some knowledge for sure.
more question for Bear. Is there anything you took from last year that you can put or learn from last year's program that you plan on putting into play this year?
Well, the most important thing, we want to make it as available as possible. You know, I spoke with them yesterday, and I said, just make sure you don't hesitate to ask questions, to pop by. The coaches, all the Yotes, the AHL and the NHL staff right now, we're doing video. We're reviewing what happened in the NHL playoff, and I invite them to join us to do video with us if they want to. We're looking to improve what we did, and we always look to improve, you know. And I'm excited for them, because during the summer, that's what coaching is all about, improving your craft, and that's my biggest stress during the summer. Right now, I had different opportunity during summer, different conference opportunity with the World Championship, talk with other coach, and now it's all buzzing in air up there, and I'm trying to figure it out how we will apply all those tweak, change, improvement, stuff you learn right and left, and they will be in an environment, hopefully they will have stuff they will like to duplicate, and they will have some stuff they will say, I don't want to do that, doesn't apply to my style of coaching or my whatever, and that's part of it. It happened all the time. You sometimes you watch a conference or you talk with a coach, and that's the way he does it. Good for him, but doesn't apply at your style of coaching. And you say, okay, that's not for me. That's not something I will do. But that confirm your value and what you believe in. So I think they will take a lot of stuff this week, positive, some negative, I'm sure, and they will grow their craft, and that's what it's all about.
Hi, this is for Kelsey and Kori. How much more special was it watching the NHL Draft this year, knowing you'd have a hand in some of those players' developments?
Yeah, I think the NHL Draft was really special. I was at the draft, and it was an awesome first-time experience for me to just see, you know, the direction that this organization is headed in, and I know that there's a big emphasis on putting the right people in place from a staffing perspective, but also getting the players who can help this organization win. And I think that it was a home run, the draft this year. So I was really excited to see the players that they selected. And, you know, you might only get a week with them, but you get an opportunity to help them reach their ultimate goal.
Yeah, I mean, this year's draft, it was unique because, you know, I've been involved in NHL drafts within organizations in the past, but more from a scouting standpoint. So, you know, in that sense that you're not really going to get to interact with the players. So, you know, that I think there was butterflies in my stomach when I was watching, not only because I was excited for the players and having that opportunity and, you know, getting to relish in that moment, but, you know, in knowing that, you know, these players were going to, you know, get to interact with them in just a few short days, and I think that made it a little bit more special. There was a little more, you know, excitement, a little more oomph behind, you know, my feelings and excitement to, you know, see what selections were made and, you know, understand and hopefully get to connect with the coaching staff and the scouts this week about the whys and, you know, what they're most excited about, but then to get to interact from a player standpoint is super exciting.
Yeah, this is for the two new coaches, new to the Valley at least. Can you just talk about, you know, this great opportunity that you guys are getting, but also the opportunity to do it together where you're not alone going through this whole new experience?
Yeah, I mean, playing hockey in Canada, I mean, we probably have a very similar experience, but I was the only girl on many hockey teams growing up, and coaching on the men's side of the game, I'm often the only woman in the dressing room as well. So, you know, we have to get creative with who gets to change when in the coaches' room. But I wouldn't have it any other way. I feel like being on the men's side of the game is very special. Being on the women's side of the game is very special. And I'm all about trying to make my experience better, but also trying to influence people around me and just have those opportunities so that if an opportunity comes down the road, I'm the most prepared I can be. And being with another female, I think this has been great because we can kind of bounce ideas off of each other and kind of go with each other to different events, and then, you know, we get comfortable with our respective teams, and then we kind of branch off and grow as individuals as well. So it's been a great first day so far.
Yeah, it certainly helps with that transition. Like Kori said, again, we both grew up playing on boys' teams. Every coach that I work with now at the college level is male, from my staff to the men's staff. And so, having such a brilliant hockey mind that is female, that is on this side of the game as opposed to players, has just been an awesome opportunity. I'm super excited to learn more from Kori. She obviously has more experience on the men's side than I do, so that is something that is very eye-opening. It's a huge opportunity for me to learn not only from the amazing NHL coaching staff that's here, but from a peer, someone who has taken as many lumps as I have, especially on the men's side. It's not an easy feat, so I give Kori a ton of credit. And I'm just super excited to learn as much as I can from her, as well as the rest of the staff here.
And Bill, this is obviously going to be beneficial for them, beneficial for the team. But how about just the opportunity to grow the sport? Because other little girls are going to see them coaching and say, "Hey, I can do that now."
Well, my daughter played, and I always love that impact that you can have in helping to try to grow the game at any level. I think it does have a big impact when they see their role models up there, and for I think as a coach too, the other impact that you have when they leave here, the knowledge that they've gained from here now goes into the players, and they have huge impact in their communities and wherever they coach in their men's teams or their women's teams, but they actually make everybody better. So for me, this is a great process to just kind of share knowledge and make everybody better through it.
Hello, Kori and Kelsey. Who's had a profound impact on each of you from the coaching side of things? And then André, earlier in your career, who had that profound impact, kind of that it moment for you as well?
I mean, I would say for me, I'm 27. I've been coaching not too long, but it's always something that's been in the back of my mind. But ultimately, when I got to college, I had my first experience having a female, like a very powerful, just very strong-willed female coach. It was my first ever female coach, and to have it at that level and the knowledge and confidence that she brought, I think really instilled in me the power that having a female coach can have. And so, every day, days are tough. I'm going in, I'm coaching, 18, 19-year-olds, and knowing that, they're young and they're impressionable, but having a female coach can make such a difference in someone's career. I feel that my game really took off in college because I had a female coach. I was able to gain that confidence, being able to relate to a female and sharing those tough days, sharing that excitement. And so I think, that's ultimately what planted the seed of, I want to be able to provide that for other players as well.
Being from a small province of Nova Scotia in Canada, I was coached by basically the same female my entire career. And then I actually followed her to Ryerson, where we coached side by side. She was with the women's program and I was with the men's program. But it was Lisa Haley who coached me at St. Mary's University in Canada. She coached me at the provincial level at the under-18s. And then she moved to Ryerson, and then I kind of followed suit and went to that school as well. But I just remember her being one of the only female coaches at that time, and being extremely articulate and being able to talk about the X's and O's just as well as the men could. And so that was definitely my first inspiration into coaching. But as a coach, I've coached alongside a lot of amazing people, and I would say Mel Davidson would be one of the women who had a major impact in my coaching career with Hockey Canada, and I still probably annoy her every week and call her every week with different questions. But I think that's what it's all about. I think on the women's side, we're less likely to call our peers and reach out and try to network and create those female groups. Whereas on the men's side, I feel like that's a little more commonplace, where we're calling other coaches and seeking out best practices. So I try to do that as much as I can, even though I know I might be annoying at times.
I'm really happy about Darren. So really impressed because we often, when we have that question, throw out big name. We want to create a splash, I'm really happy because they talk about coach who coached them in minor hockey or college or something. And in reality, for me, the coach who had the most impact on me are my minor hockey coach, because that's where they they give me the passion for the game. They helped me to love my game, my passion, and then was my junior coach. And then after, when I start coaching at a young age, I had a mentor, and it's not someone who will be in the first on the website of ESPN today. It's not but he's a guy who make me love the game. So it's often when someone asks you that, they want to hear the Alain Vigneault or the Barry Trotz but in reality, is the one who had an impact when I was starting as a player and then starting as a coach, who were a really good coach because they make me be a passionate and a junkie for that game. And now I live from my passion, and I'm a lucky man. So for me, it was the René Perron that world, and the René Dufour, and those guys who were my minor hockey coach. And then when I started coaching, they were the René Perron and the guys like Denis Francoeur give me my chance in the junior major as an assistant coach. And when with Hockey Canada, I had a chance to coach with multiple outstanding coach, which I don't want to pinpoint one guy, because even if Billy said we should not do that, I stole from all of them and tried to pick something from all those guys and try to be a little bit better.
Kori, you mentioned you coached with Nathaniel at Ryerson. I'm curious if you had a chance to talk to him about this program and understand kind of what his journey was like. And Bear, after that, just a quick question. I'm wondering if you maintained contact with Nathaniel and Dante from last year's program, and what that impact's been like.
Yeah, I mean, Nate has always been an extremely passionate coach. From the moment that I stepped into that male hockey team, he was always welcoming. Same with our head coach, Johnny Duco. So definitely we stay in touch quite often, and I reached out to him at the time when he was going through it, but then when the opportunity came up for myself, I reached out to him. I think there's no more valuable piece than talking to the people who have been through it and gaining from their experience. And he was extremely excited for me, and he gave me all the ins and the outs. And Kelsey mentioned it earlier today, but there's been a lot of information since we've been here, and talking to Nate for that hour and a half that we chatted, there was a lot of information, but it made me really, really excited to get the opportunity to do it.
I saw them last at the draft, and we had a chance to chat when we were at the coaches conference. But the other big thing those girls will take from it is the confidence. When I have a chance to be at the higher stage as a coach, always give me more confidence for the next step. When I go and I can go back from when I was coaching minor hockey to when I was coaching junior. My first experience was with the national team in Canada. I learned a lot from others, but as well, when I came back with my junior team, I was so excited to share that knowledge with my player and trying to make our program better and make me a more confident person, a more confident coach. So that is huge.
Kori, you and Bear both have worked with Team Canada extensively and still do. What familiarity do you have together, and will that make this week a big fit?
Well, we have someone in common. We have a video coach in common, and he's been, James Emery, he's been talking to me about Bear, and I'm sure James has been texting you about me. But he said we'd get along phenomenally, and I think that's been the case so far. And I'm excited to learn from Bear. He's a great coach. Maybe he can learn one or two things from me as well. We'll see.
For sure. I can. James is such a smart guy and a really good hockey mind. So he speaks highly about Kori. So I know she's the real deal.
And Kelsey, obviously you started Princeton in the past, and that led you to a coaching career. And just as far as the growth of women's hockey in the United States, in your opinion, how far has it come, and how far does it need to go?
I really, I look back when I started playing, which wasn't that long ago, right? Back in like 2000, excuse me, I didn't have a girls' team. It was not an option. I had no other choice but to play with the guys if I wanted to play hockey. And that was something that I had absolutely no problem with. I was typically bigger than them, so it worked out. But, now it's every single arena in the Philadelphia area, which is, trust me, not a hockey hotbed. It has an incredible women's program, from development to Tier 1 AAA high level, setting these girls up to reach that NCAA level and continue playing if that's what they want. I think there are a lot of factors that have contributed to the growth of women's hockey in the U.S. in the last, I would say, 10 years, from them winning Olympic gold in 2018 to more professional leagues becoming more prevalent. And there are a lot of players that have gone through the ringer within the professional leagues and have, set that foundation for younger girls to see where hockey can take them. Ultimately, that's what's most important. When I was growing up, I knew I would go to college, but playing college hockey was not something that I knew was in the cards for me. Once I had that knowledge, once I had that confidence to say, okay, that's my end goal, it really helped to propel my game. And I think that's something that was one of the biggest reasons that I, got into coaching, especially in my area. I get to give back to, the women's hockey landscape in the Philadelphia area and provide that example, have a college team with 20 young women who are setting an example for the 8-year-olds that are playing at the same rink that we're at, and get to set that example and show them the path that hockey can take them. But it has certainly grown a lot. It's not rare for a girl to have an all-girls team to play on from the start. However, if we're going to compete with the likes of Hockey Canada, we definitely need to keep going and build that. I think a huge piece of that is diversity as well within the sport, and obviously that's driven my career a lot, and that certainly is an area we can improve on. But I think just overall making the game a lot more accessible to everybody is something that I think we're working on pretty hard here in the U.S., here in the States. I mean, Arizona has an incredible girls program that has developed some really strong players. I actually have a player coming to me next year from the Kachinas. So, it has grown so much. It's super exciting. We certainly have a ways to go, but the strides have been incredible.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Oh, Julia.
So this is for both Kelsey and Kori. Just what is the ultimate goal for both of you guys?
I get asked this a lot.
I know.
Because of my experience on both sides. I think anytime you can coach at the highest level, that's where I want to be, whether it's on the men's side or the women's side. And in the meantime, I'm just trying to gain as much knowledge and experience as I can so that if that opportunity comes knocking, I'm ready for it. And that's kind of how I approach my coaching career and how I seek out opportunities on a daily basis to grow and get better. And so I want to coach at the highest level, and whether it's on the men's side or the women's side, it doesn't matter, but I want to be the best.
Yeah, I would say the same. There's always that motivation to take that next step. I went through such a incredible 3 years starting an NCAA program. It was something that taught me so much about myself. And I'm right now. My next goal is to win a championship with the young ladies that took a chance on me in starting a program. But there always is, I want to get to the highest level as well. However that happens in whatever role, I feel like this week will help me, kind of understand where I could see myself within the various hockey ops positions. But that player interaction, that relationship that you build with players to see them grow and connect with them. And, I'm getting married next year, hopefully, and, I'm excited to invite my college coach, and I hope some of the girls that I'm coaching now have the same feelings. So I think I would say it changes day by day, week by week, but, getting to that highest level is the ultimate goal.
And obviously it is a male-dominated industry, but what type of perspective can the female, bring to an organization like this?
I mean, we have such, when you think about, what is the advantage of having a female in a position like this? We both have had to go through so much to get where we've been, right? We both had to play on all boys teams. In order for me to get to that highest level, the teams I was playing on were well over 2 hours from my house each way. And, that was something that you're willing to do, though. You're willing to take those lumps. You're willing to go through it because you have that passion and that drive, and you want to prove that, we're not just good female coaches, we're just good hockey coaches. And that's something that, we each bring, every person brings a different wealth of knowledge to the table. And that's something that no matter whether we're female or male, I think that's definitely something that I'm hoping to prove in this week, is that I can just be a good hockey coach. I don't have to be just a good coach for women. I can be a good coach for any player on the ice.
What she said. I had this conversation in the last couple of months where I was asked an interview question, and I just said, I'll be really excited for the day where we don't have to have an interview about this being, an amazing opportunity for a woman. And it's just an amazing opportunity as a hockey coach. And anytime you can bring diversity into an organization, whether it's on the sports side or the business side, you're gonna create that production that you want to see as an organization. You're gonna have a different perspective. You're gonna have new creative ideas, and you're gonna reach a greater population of people who want to participate and support your organization. And I think that that's what it's all about. And so I think anytime you can get a new coach into your organization to help, maybe put their stamp on something for a week, you're gonna come out on the other end in a good spot.
Just one more for André. Major League Baseball, they're adding, women for hitting coaches, minor league managers. Do you think the NHL is, heading in the right direction to add more females?
I really like what she said. That's for me. Okay, I'm a French guy, and when the first time I coached for Team Canada, people were saying, "Oh, they need a French guy on the staff." I didn't want to kill everybody. I didn't want to be in the staff because I was French. I want to be in the staff because I'm a good coach. So the goal is to have the best coach. Period. No sex, no gender, no nothing, just good coach. So that's the goal. If the best is whatever, that's fine, as long as it's the best, and that's the way I see it, and that's what they just mentioned, and I think that's fantastic answer. They want to be recognized as a good coach. They're a good coach. That's why they earn the privilege to be select for that program, and they want to keep growing their game and having a new gig somewhere because they're a really good coach. And we'll see where that lead them. But that was my goal back then. I did not want to be in any program because where I was coming from or because of my language. I didn't want to be recognized because I knew what I was doing. I was a good coach. That's what I hope to be. I want to be a good coach, and I want to be recognized for a good coach. That's who I want to be. So whatever my accent or whatever, that's not who I am. That's who I am as a coach, a hockey coach, and I try to be the best I can be. So I totally understand how they feel, and that's what I want to be. I want to be a good coach, and I wish them the best to be the best coach they can be, and that because they will be a really good coach, that will open doors, and hopefully they will have the job they wish one day.